What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff expected to be coming in this upcoming patch. I'm going to tease a little bit of Red Guardian and Yelena Belova's kits, and we're going to talk about what their inclusion on the Strike Force roster is going to mean for the game. So let's get into it. The first thing that we're going to talk about here today is a whole bunch of stuff that is expected to be arriving with this patch. A couple things are not expected with the patch that I do want to point out, things that have been talked about recently. One of the big ones is the Greek difficulty slider, or a difficulty slider for the Greek grades. That's been talked about for a while, and it seemed like that would be something that we would be getting with this patch. However, there's no mention of it in the data mines or in the patch notes. So my best guess is that it is something that they've pushed until the patch after, or maybe even a couple patches down the road. But it's also entirely possible that this will be coming with the new patch, and they just it hasn't shown up in the data mines, and they didn't mention it as a coming soon feature in the in-game mail. But at this time, I think we should assume that that's not going to be coming. Another thing I want to talk about, because it has been coming up a lot on my streams, is an orb opening event. I see this question 27 times every single stream. When is the orb opening event? What orbs should we be hoarding for the orb opening event? So I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I do want to say that as of right now, there is zero concrete reason to assume that there will be an orb opening event. There's not been an orb opening event announced. There's not been an orb opening event data mined. As of right now, the evidence for an orb opening event is nothing. Now, that said, I do not want you to misunderstand that as me saying there will not be an orb opening event, because sooner or later, I'm sure there will be, and it is still entirely possible that there will be an orb opening event this month. Again, there's nothing that confirms that. However, they have a loose trend that they've established, which is roughly every 6 months or so for the past 18 months, they've had an orb opening event, including around this time last year. I think we'll get a concrete answer when we start to see the big wave of data mines that hit with the new patch. But yeah, at this time, I just want to say there is no concrete proof that an orb opening event is coming. You're still more than welcome to hoard your orbs and see, ultimately what happens throughout this patch. But I would say that if you make it to early January and there's still been no official word of an orb opening event, it's probably safe to start opening them at that point. Personally, I am not hoarding orbs because, again, nothing has been announced, but we'll see. I also wanted to touch on a few of the things coming with the patch. For example, Blitz Simming is coming with the patch, and I'm definitely very excited to get Blitz Simming. However, several people, when they accidentally sent the sim feature onto the live servers, it was both Blitz Simming and Raid Simming. And so I think a lot of people have been assuming that we are going to get both. And at least from all the patch notes and the data mines, it appears that we are only getting Blitz Simming. And the devs had even said they're not sure if they are going to include Raid Simming or what it will look like. So Blitz Simming might look different than how we first experienced it when they accidentally put it live. And yeah, at this time, it appears that there is no Raid Simming accompanying that, just Blitz Simming. Another couple of things that I'm excited for. We have the Realtime PvP Arena that's going to be hitting in this patch. Don't know exactly what that's going to look like. Some people are theorizing that it's going to be very quest involved, meaning that you don't necessarily have to win or lose. You'll just have to achieve certain objectives, like using certain characters or hitting a certain amount of damage. I am hoping that it more or less resembles the current arena system, except with the matches having to be live PvP. But I'm mainly hoping for that just so that people who are normally a little scared to PvP me perhaps will have no excuse. So I hope that that's what it ultimately amounts to. But either way, I'm excited to see what it's going to be. Another thing that's been teased is we've been told that the Mojo's Mayhem event is coming, and we don't really know what that is. The current leading theory is that that is the name of the first battle pass. If you're wondering what the battle passes come in all different shapes and sizes, but it's essentially a bunch of free rewards. Think of it as like milestones. The only real difference being that if you play what they deem an appropriate amount of time, you shouldn't have to do any whaling or any spending to go from the start to the end of the battle pass. However, every so many increments within the battle pass, there will be rewards, and they usually have a paid tier in addition to a free tier. And so if you just pay a one-time fee for the paid tier, at least for that battle pass, which is usually every patch or every month, something like that, then when you hit those increments, you'll get not only the rewards from the free tier, but you'll also get additional rewards from having that upgraded battle pass. And usually when you buy into the battle pass, a lot of games will give you like the first 20 levels of it for free, something like that. But yeah, it's basically just going to be milestones that you'll have to do all sorts of different stuff to get. That's the closest thing I can liken it to. And lastly, they're definitely doing some kind of snow glow orb event. And this is not the first time that they've done the snow glow orbs. They usually do it around the winter time. Of course, every time it comes back around, it looks a little bit different. But yeah, basically, you're just going to get a lot of these winter orbs, and they always have gold and character shards. And this time in particular, they have really, really good characters. I'm really, really happy with the selection of characters in the snow glow orb this year. So you can actually check that out in game right now and see. But yeah, there's a lot of really tough to get characters. There's some unfarmable ones like Cull, Obsidian, and Beast. And then there's characters like Yo-Yo, who are premium orb exclusive. There's a lot of good stuff in there, so I'm really happy with these orbs this year. And now we're going to talk just a little bit about Red Guardian and Yelena Belova. They are actually part of a new team that's going to feature several existing characters in the game getting a new and a better home. So I don't want to give too much away, and I'm definitely going to leave most of the juicy details from this to the Envoy videos, which will be out soon. Those always release before the patch, usually during the maintenance, so I'm sure you'll get that information soon. But yeah, just wanted to whet your appetites a little bit and give you a little teaser of stuff to come. So we'll start with Red Guardian. So I want to talk about Red Guardian's stats. You can see he has really, really high health and really, really high armor. And he also has well above average focus. His damage is definitely not great, and his speed is really not great. But if you weren't able to tell from his shield and all the health and all the armor, he's definitely a very defensive character. And so as a general rule, if you're some kind of a tank, low speed tends to be a good thing if you have any kind of taunt, because it means you spend more time with the taunt up and absorbing attacks. And so that's definitely the niche that Red Guardian is going to fall into. Like I said, I'm going to save most of the good details for the Envoy vids. Definitely check those out. However, just to give you an idea of what Red Guardian is going to look like, I will talk about his special ability, Iron Curtain. So that's going to be 4 energy cooldown ready on turn 1, and it's going to clear 2 negative effects. And then if he's above 50% health, he will gain a taunt. Otherwise, he's going to heal for 20% of his max health. Then he's going to apply defense up to self and all allies. Then he's going to heal himself and all allies for 20% of this character's max health. He's going to apply regeneration to self and all skill military allies. And he's going to have a 25% chance to get an assist from a Yelena Belova ally. So I shared that ability in particular, just so that there was no doubt. You can definitely tell he is a tank. How good of a tank is he? Well, you'll have to check out the Envoy videos to get the full scoop, but yeah, he will be a tank. Next, we're going to talk about Yelena Belova. As you can see from her stats, she has well above average damage, moderate armor, moderate health, really, really good focus, and really, really good speed. Good speed, good damage, high focus. I hope you're starting to get the picture for what this character is designed to do. And I do want to mention that these stats are already including bonuses that they get from being on their team. All right, so now to talk a little bit about their team. As I briefly mentioned earlier, 3 existing characters that are currently on teams that don't really see a lot of action outside of Blitz in the current game modes are going to have a much more comfortable fit alongside Red Guardian and Yelena Belova. And this team is primarily going to be a war team, in particular, a war offense team. They've got some really good tools for countering some of these scarier war defenses out there. So that is what I expect to see this team being used for a lot, is war offense. In particular, I definitely want to see how they do into the mercenaries, but I think that they will do pretty well into Taskmaster and the mercenaries, which would certainly be thematic. And more importantly, I think a lot of people will be excited to hear that I expect them to do really, really well against the Marauders. I know people have been looking around for even better, stronger, more reliable options to deal with the Marauders. And yeah, these guys have a really interesting war offense kit, and they definitely have some war offense bonuses. All I can really leave you with on that is check out the Envoy videos for the full scoop. Otherwise, though, that is all I've got for you guys. I do want to mention anyone is welcome to join my Discord server, which is discord.gg/Khasino, where we have blitz predictions, infographics, videos, data mines, spreadsheets, content creator Q&A, and more. A a whole bunch of stuff. Otherwise though, thank you guys very much for checking out this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and adopt a tortoise, and I will see you guys real soon. Until then, peace!